lunch hour.
Please send us your stories. We love judging people.
Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be liquidating everything me and my wife own.
Please read this. Obviously I'm a girl.
Cool mode activated.
Oh, I see you. You got hit by the emergency. Speaking of talking.
Screw you, homophobe.
New episodes Tuesday and Friday.
Do you want to start Tom Holland movies first? Kind of go in reverse order.
Let's get him out of the way.
Tom Holland.
I am a believer of the first one's the best one.
Why?
So we're going to get into it when we go down the line. Spider-Man is my favorite fictional character ever. The character means a lot. I love the shows, comic movies, video games. I am not a fan of techie Spider-Man, okay? And I get it's comic accurate, but I'm a firm believer of just because it's comic, book, whatever anything's referencing is accurate doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah.
I think Tom Holland acting job, I have no problem with it. It's mainly the writing. The stuff I give this movie credit for is, one, I hate the Tony Stark stuff. But I do like how Vulture, he's not saving the world. It's just this small problem he's taking care of. He's not immediately thrust into this galaxy-ripping thing. That's cool. I think Marissa Tomei's Aunt May is really great. She's my second favorite Aunt May besides Sally Fields.
Yes.
And then, just the idea of, Michael Keaton was cleaning up what happened in Avengers, and he become vengeful, and he steals his technology. He feels like one of the more real villains in Marvel, and I would give it somewhere in B.
I think that's fair, but for that to be the best one, and you're putting it in B, is going to prompt some discussion.
Yeah, once this goes down the line, we're gonna stray further and further.
So we're at in B.
Because I rewatched the last one as well.
No Way Home?
The one with all three of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Honestly,
This one,
there.
yeah, I think it does a good job. It doesn't move.
I agree. I think this is where...
It's not groundbreaking, but it's really good.
I think this is the middle one, in my opinion. I
Yeah.
think that of the trilogy, this is the worst one.
Yes.
I don't agree, but I do think it's bad.
The only redemptive quality of this movie to me is the fact that it's post Tony.
Yeah.
So we've got a fragile Peter.
I don't mind that aspect of it.
Despite hating, techie Spider-Man, we're dealing with a circumstance.
Yes.
So we have techie Spider-Man. We have to judge techie Spider-Man. He's no Tony, so he's fragile. He's learning what it means to be Spider-Man. I think this trilogy does a great job of I see it as one movie.
Yeah, especially 2 and 3, they blend right into each other.
Well, I think 1 even you get a fragment. He's learning what it means to be the little guy in Homecoming.
Yeah.
He's learning what it means to be on your own and make a decision and trust himself with his spider sense. Jake Gyllenhaal's great in this movie.
I have 2 really good things to like about this movie. One is I do like Tom Holland's acting, how he portrays this loss, and Mysterio. I thought he was done super well.
Yes.
My biggest critique, well, one thing, just side note, whoever made the subtitles for these movies are idiots. Why is everything home something? I can never remember the names of those things.
Yeah.
But I think the London setting was weird.
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
The fact that no one besides MJ really puts it together, we have Spider-Man in New York, it's a group of us 10, and now he's in London. No one puts together that...
Right, and Peter's always gone.
Yeah.
I think in my opinion it lives there. I think what's good about this is better than what's good about Love and Thunder.
Yeah. And I would say it's better than the first X-Men movie.
Yeah, it's definitely not better.
That's kind of where your guys' realm starts.
Right.
Let's save this guy. Let's jump.
I don't know. I think we do it for continuity.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's going to prompt the most discussion. That's why I was postponing.
I'm going to do, just because I've already done this rant, I'm going to do it real quick, and I'm a firm believer of these two will decide where. If they, for some reason, want to put it very top of S or GOAT, I'm going to let them. Mm-hmm. Because I know I'm in the minority here. I was very disappointed whenever I watched this movie. It was, came out in December? Around Christmas time? because what got me about it is the villains don't act like themselves like they were in the original. I think that a lot of it is just fan service, like that scene where they're waiting for the villains on statue and they're talking about their villains. It went on way too long. I think where you get that in is when they're in the lab, where they're like, crap, my web shooters, whatever, and Tobey just does it. I think that's how you do that moment. This movie, when I rewatched it, because I rewatched it, I really like how Aunt May's death was handled, how the other two Spider-Man kind of motivate him.
I think that's the biggest strength, and I think this is that third piece that I was talking about, that Peter is learning a lesson in each movie. This is his Uncle Ben moment.
And I know because I've looked at YouTube videos, and the consensus from what I've seen is no one's saying it's terrible, but people have like, oh yeah, it was crazy when we saw it in theaters, but let's look at the story, there's some flaws. And the number one thing people complain about, and I think it almost ruins the movie for me, you have Doctor Strange, who is this almighty being, and he screws it up so bad. And also, I watched a video, and I thought about it. They were like, how in the world does you messing up a memory spell rip open dimensions? And I was like, again, I rewatched it.
I think that's the biggest plot hole. I think that the Doctor Strange gripe goes back to my critique about Doctor Strange. He's human, keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
He's arrogant, and he was quick to make a decision because he thought he was up against a child who happened to be a genius and beat him with math. I think that scene is awesome. I know what you're talking about, where they're fighting on the bus and he's beating them with geometry.
I didn't like that dynamic of it.
I thought it was silly. I thought it was fun, but I think Strange's arrogance is why he loses, not necessarily that Peter is smarter. Strange is just, I know more than you. This is for the greater good. Listen to me.
Yeah.
And Peter goes, no, it's the same with like the Across the Spider-Verse movies. Like, hear me out.
Those were not on this tier list.
Yeah, that's crazy those aren't on this tier list.
They're not on this tier list.
I just thought about that.
Yeah.
The last thing I'll say this movie, MJ and Ned, god awfully annoying.
They're some of the worst characters in the MCU.
I said I watched this movie 3 times now.
Well, it's like MJ is such a good character inherently, and Zendaya is such a great actress, and the fact that you can somehow make her character unlikable it's crazy.
Crawl around.
It's crazy.
Well, I will say I think that I like her the most in this movie.
Yes.
I kind of liked her more in the first one, where she's just kind of like...
Well, she's not in it at all.
She is just very sidelined.
She's in it for like 3 minutes maybe total.
I think they do a good job of semi-optimizing on her screen time in this.
And the redemption with Andrew Garfield catching her.
That was cool.
Yeah.
I'll give credit there.
I think the good of this movie totally outweighs the bad, and the fact that you were disappointed makes me want to know what you were expecting going into it.
Well, I'll do one quick thing. And kind of a pattern with Marvel movies, like when Andrew came through the portal into that house, the whole, now crawl around. Can you get that spider web? I was like, this is dumb.
I think the crawl around was funny. The spider web bit was like, come on.
But kind of how I said about like when the scaffolding, you're just drawing on this thing. Because back at, you know how it is, original Marvel movies were just quick jokes. Like whenever like J. Jonah's like, is that a dinosaur?
Yeah.
Like that's how, to me, you make the jokes. And then, like, you go into the whole thing. Like I said, the villains just felt so dumb. I couldn't get into it.
The only villain that felt dumb to me was because they reused the footage of Sandman and Lizard.
Yeah.
Kind of lame. Jamie Foxx's character was the only one that didn't feel like himself.
Because he's like a schizophrenic nerd, and then he's like, I thought you were
literally
black, man. It's like...
Not to say that he's the only good part of TASM 2, but he might be.
No, he's not the only.
We'll
get there.
We'll get to TASM too.
But yeah, no, for real though, his portrayal in No Way Home is just not good.
This is my favorite of the trilogy.
Last thing I'm really gonna say about it is after the rewatch, because I watched it 3 times when it came out, like a year after that, and then when I said I rewatched the movies, my opinion did not change. It didn't go up, it didn't go down. It basically confirmed what I thought about it, and I did try to go into it with like a. Forget that I think that they're dumb. And again, if it's up to me, it would be in D tier. But you guys go for
D tier, but
you guys put it where you want.
I don't think it belongs in A tier either.
Ooh.
After rewatching it, I think a lot of the fan service stuff kills it for me.
Yes.
I think it's a lot of the times where they're just like have unnecessarily long pauses, or they're just like Josh said, they're riffing for way too long.
Yeah.
It's like it's cool and I get it, but like guys, I don't think you understand that I watched you do that too, so I kind of already know
He's
that
got
happened.
a point.
So like
Yeah.
the fact you're re-explaining it to me in a movie is
Well, I mean, there's also, not to defend too hard, but there are
No,
people.
if you like it,
Yeah.
defend it.
There
Yeah.
are people that don't know Andrew Garfield to be Spider-Man.
yeah, but it's
Ever.
like damn, my mic fell
Kids.
off. It's like
Like, that's
people don't under people
that's
don't
why
know
this
Tobey
whole
Maguire
this
is,
whole multiverse thing is kind of like it suffers from that.
yeah.
I will give it its credit. When they kind of hit the reset button at the end, I'm very excited for that.
Yes.
I think that I think you have to look at these as one Spider-Man movie, because they're about to produce whatever the next trilogy is about to be the best piece of Spider-Man,
Yeah.
bar none.
Unless if they throw
I hope so.
multiverse in there, I'm gonna break my own legs.
Well, I mean,
So where do we
Yeah.
put this bad boy?
I am okay at putting it at the top half of B.
It's above Homecoming.
It's above Homecoming. It's above Guardians of the Galaxy. I'd say it's above Shang-Chi and probably Doctor Strange. But not Ragnarok or First Class.
I'll agree with Ragnarok maybe.
What do we? TASM movies now?
TASM. We're at 24. Let's reset.
Okay.
All right.
Editing this is gonna. Josh, if you're editing this, you're doing a good. You're near the end, man.
You're doing a
Right.
great job,
Thank
man.
you. The TASM movies, I really still liked. I watched this like maybe 8 months ago with my girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
I showed her all the Spider movies, and when I mean that, not the Tom Holland ones. And I
crazy.
I downloaded the soundtrack from this thing after I was done.
Yeah.
It's way better than I remember it being.
Yeah.
It's a good soundtrack.
I agree. I think both movies are better than I remember them being.
Did you rewatch them?
Yes. I rewatched both of them. I still think one's better than two.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
You're not a fan of the suit,
Yeah.
though.
The first movie's story,
I don't like how they're like, hey, Spider-Man let Gwen die, and then they just never expanded. I mean, granted, they did make another movie after that, but they're just like, hey, you let her die. Everyone, the city hates Spider-Man now. And that's it. That's the end of.
that's not true.
He comes back and beats Rhino.
He comes back. No one knows that.
He's
no
got
one
the
knows
kid. He's
that
got the
Gwen
kid.
Yeah.
The kid who's like trying to go fight Rhino, and the cops are like, "Don't do that."
I mean, that's fair, but I don't know. It's just, I feel like the movie was kind of all over the place, and yeah.
What I really appreciate about this movie is Uncle Ben and Aunt May are way more cooler, likable, however you want
It
to phrase
feels,
it. than
it
the
Yes.
first
feels possible. Like as
Paternal.
a Spider-Man fan, it feels like I've had those experiences at home before.
one. Coming home late and like mother
Where
in
the
the
hell
kitchen.
were you?
Yeah.
You've got us
Yeah.
worried sick. What is that about? Why are you sitting on the roof?
And you were talking about doing comedy right in the very end when he gives the eggs after he's all beat up.
Yeah.
That's how you tie in like a good joke.
The one thing that TASM does really well, I will give it credit for, is that it perfectly encapsulates the smartass that Spider-Man is.
Is that a knife?
Right?
That's like the best.
I love that.
Yes. I mean,
My
it's
weakness,
just-
small knives.
Yes.
It's like it's so good.
I think TASM belongs in A.
I think so.
I think TASM 1 belongs in A.
What I give this credit for, and this isn't my opinion, I watched a retrospective on the two Amazing Spider-Man movies. Someone pointed out scenes, and he's like, I like the way he really moves like a spider. Whether
Yep.
it's the sewer with the webs or when they're fighting the school, the way he crawls,
Yep.
like,
Yes.
I think it's super
And
well done.
for such a CGI heavy movie, I think that they only used it where it was necessary.
Yes.
Like his stunt
Yeah.
double and him had great movement, and like really only the lizard and then like the rooftop fight scenes are CGI.
Yeah.
Everything else is pretty practical.
Yep.
Well, and it's crazy because when we were doing this last week, I just completely forgot that the school fight scene existed. I'm sorry, but when they're busting through bookshelves
And Stan Lee's there.
and stuff's, oh my gosh, dude,
And attached
that
to the
is
table.
that is one of the top Stan Lee cameos.
That needs to be
in all
another.
of-
That needs to be a short video that we do ranking the
Yes.
Stan Lee.
Oh,
cameos.
dude, that's
Dude,
gonna
just
be going.
R.I.P. to the goat, but
Yeah. I think it's an A. I would put it.
My tendency is to put it above Winter Soldier. but that might be the nostalgia and my appreciation taking over rather than it like being an objectively better movie.
It's because I rewatched Winter Soldier. Yeah,
Yeah,
actually.
I'll give you that.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's better than the newest Cap, maybe.
See, we can't
Yeah.
rank the.
Well, then I'm gonna do that. As a Spider-Man fan, get
Fair.
I love just the commentary this movie does. Get
yeah.
Let's let you cook for a
Is
second.
this your goat?
Where do you guys put it?
I would put
Let's-
it.
let's
do you
prompt
want,
the
do you want
discussion.
me to be honest?
Yes, of
I don't
course.
think I don't even think it touches C.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't even think
Why?
it touches C. It's
He
just
baffled.
the who in the hell was it? Was that other bitchy looking goblin that they brought in? The embarrassment and schmear.
The Goblin? The
Yeah,
Goblin?
that's
Harry.
he. I mean, I understand that it's
a
like
great arc.
that it's the son completing the father thing, but it's like he looks stupid. He looks like he belongs in the North Pole. His ears look dumb. His character model is just a little silly. He's like kind of green without being the Green Goblin. He looks like he has jaundice.
Look to your
Okay.
left. Look to your left while I do this. No, turn your head and watch what I'm doing.
Ah! I mean, listen, I understand all of the things that are really good. Jamie Foxx is a fantastic antagonist in this movie.
Let's do our goats at the end.
He does a great job. However,
I think just for content, because then you're gonna have 3 really different movies at the end.
No, I'm saying let's save our put it where you want to put it. I'll hear you out. We'll argue,
I
and
get
then
it.
at the end we get to.
I
go
think
through
that
and
I
pick
think
our
this
goats.
movie would be very good if they didn't even include.
Goblin.
Yeah, if
I agree with
they
that.
left him out of the movie and it was just
I
Jamie
agree.
Foxx,
I agree.
I'd listen to giving it those two.
I think the story of TASM 1 is better, but the suit of TASM 2 and the everything from Gwen dying on is like enough to put it on the same pedestal for me.
That's what you're saying.
Like,
I like that. I understand. Like
and I just love Andrew Garfield.
that's fair.
He's a
Not
great-
even him as Spider-Man. I just love Andrew Garfield.
him in The Social Network. Like, I love.
Yes.
Hacksaw Ridge.
Oh, dude, Hacksaw
love
Ridge,
Andrew Garfield.
amazing movie. I feel like this movie is a little too all over the place for myself.
And
That's fair.
you said you wouldn't even put it in C.
I would
Not in C.
I would entertain it in C.
Where do
That's
you?
the highest I'd
Where
put
do you
it
live?
is C.
Can you go to C? Scroll down a little bit. C tier. I would put it above Apocalypse.
In C?
Here's my take. I agree with everything he said about Goblin. I think the parents' storyline also. Who cares?
Yeah, it's like they get mad at him and then they don't show anything about it again at the end of the movie. Like, cool, he fights the Rhino again, which again, the Rhino was cooler than green fuck ass Goblin.
Then
like,
since you guys are so hell bent on C, and I'm more towards like the top of A.
Well, we know where it's gonna go.
Can we hit B?
I
Can we hit it right there?
Just because I know where it's gonna go, sure.
yeah, that's
Well, what
fine.
if it doesn't? That's what this
I-
is.
Okay.
If it doesn't go there though,
I'm hedging my bets.
I think I would give it that it's on the
Yeah.
same level as the first X-Men movie, which we have top of C.
Yeah.
So it would be rather bottom B, top.
Then we'll roll bottom B just because I would put it in A, you guys would put it in C. We'll
Right.
rate it bottom B.
The
Tobey.
Tobey.
let's just go ahead and get Spider-Man 3 in F.
Yeah.
It's no
I think I literally said I rewatched the first 2 for a reason.
no need to.
I will give this movie a little bit of credit. The only thing I'll say that it's good, the final fight.
Yeah.
Honestly, hang on. We might be being too hard on it.
Yeah.
might be
I'd put it bottom D.
Really, like, everyone, obviously, Bully Maguire's dumb. The only, like I said about F, like, if it doesn't have anything good about it, then it's an F.
Yeah.
The Sandman fight in his heart-to-heart with Spider-Man, I think is actually really well done.
And
And that scene where he's on the tower ripping everything off.
yeah, and how he deals with the symbiote with all the
The bell.
Yeah.
And shit. Is that? Am I thinking of the game?
well, and he has all the
They do both.
he has
They do
yeah,
both?
because he has
Okay.
all the metal
Yeah.
pegs in the ground.
I think that the way they did Venom on Eddie Brock is the worst Venom has ever looked.
Yes.
Ever. And ever will look.
The
Yeah.
only, I saw, it was more of me, I said the only cool part about Topher Grace's Venom is just the shot where that goes in his mouth, and you're like, oh yeah, that's kind of gnarly. And then it's
Right.
just completely bad for the rest of it.
Spider-Man.
I would go A.
I would go like top of A or S.
Dude, it's so good.
It's just if you're gonna do Green Goblin, this is how you do Green Goblin.
I agree, and for that,
Honestly, I think it was S now that I look at it.
yeah.
I mean this is a Willem Dafoe masterclass.
Where do you guys see this?
It's not better than Logan.
Better than X-Men?
There.
Yes, yeah, it's better than Days of Future Past. But it's not better than this.
Really?
Yeah.
This is still to this day top 3 favorite movie of all time.
I didn't go back and rewatch the first one just because of how comfortable I am in my opinion of that, but I did go rewatch this one again. It's just Doc Ock is such a good villain in this. This is how you're supposed to do superhero villains. I also just love I love the train scene.
Yeah.
Have you seen the extended?
He's a hero.
Yeah.
Like,
Have you seen
yes.
the extended
Oh
where
my
he throws
gosh.
him on the side?
Well, and it's like you have these group of people that can go out and absolutely ruin Spider-Man, give away his identity.
Yeah,
be
and
like,
they choose not to.
It's a young dude. Okay.
He's normal.
Yeah,
It's
he's normal.
pitiful.
And they're like, let's protect him. We didn't see shit. They gave him back his mask. Dude, literally, I'm sitting there watching it, and the kid hands him his mask back, and I'm like, let's go.
It's good to have you back, Spider-Man.
Yes, I'm like, yeah, Spider-Man, it's good to have you back.
I think watching that now, I would think it was cheesy.
In this, I rewatched this recently too. And by the way, I know it's not going to go there, but
I think this is high.
if this is my personal list, I would have it top of S. But the only reason, and what gets me about it is, it does 2 things really well. It truly does, because when you're a kid, you're like, I want to be Spider-Man. This truly nailed, like, his life sucks as Spider-Man. He can't get to class on time.
Yep.
Relationship with watching the girl he
Doesn't
loves,
MJ,
get
like, dump him?
married.
Yeah.
Aunt May is struggling. He can't do anything about it.
Yeah. Is this the same movie, or does that happen in Spider-Man 1, where it turned into a meme, but it's a scene of Aunt May praying at the bed and the window blows
Oh,
wide?
that's one, yes.
That's funny.
Yes, dude.
But
That's
this,
so funny.
but I always say the Lord of the Rings trilogy is I count it as one. It's my favorite movie, and then probably number 2 is Spider-Man 2. I think it nailed the action, it nailed the vibe. Jay Jonah going like, I want Spider-Man as he punches
Yes.
through.
Spider-Man!
Give me more pictures of Spider-Man!
I want a picture of Spider-Man's balls on my desk tomorrow morning!
And Danny Elfman doing the soundtrack.
Yes.
Dude, it's so start to finish.
If
It's great.
Spider-Man 3 wasn't such a shitty movie, I think that this would definitively, without argument, be my favorite
Superhero trilogy?
Go get him, Tag.
But because of 3, that's where I have to entertain like the Deadpool trilogy.
Yeah.
For me, I think is really good, and of course Guardians.
Mm-hmm.
So where does
And
this
even
live
Captain
in S?
America.
Because I think S is way high.
Again, my personal opinion is I would put it top S.
Just because
I love it more.
I
than
can't let
Civil War.
top of S happen.
Yeah, just because.
Would you say it's better than Logan?
No.
Ooh, that would be like my thing. I'd say it goes 1 above Logan. That's it.
If that's where we're willing to put it, that's okay.
Stand your ground.
But
Make him work for his goal.
Dude, Logan. I don't know. I don't think there is a better movie that is a movie. Like
And Logan?
when you have all the aspects of what makes a great film.
Yeah.
I think Logan's the best. When you talk about great superhero films, yes, Civil War, yes, Iron Man are a little bit better. But when we talk about what is great as a movie as in a whole,
I'll give it to you.
So we leaving it there?
Leave it there.
yes.
All right. Now,
Avengers.
Now, yeah.
I've got discussion about this.
I do too. So hold on. First Avenger. Let's start from the beginning.
Yeah.
This S.
Duh.
No.
Whoa!
Why? This.
Hold on.
This is the worst Avengers movie.
It's the best.
I don't think it's the best either, but like, dude, this.
It's
I'm
S tier.
sorry. The scene where the camera's panning and they're in New York and it's.
And the soundtrack's playing.
Yes, dude.
Hulk.
I'm 11 years
Smash.
old and I'm bricked up in the movie theater. Okay, like.
It's an 11-year-old's movie.
It's definitely not. The part where Hulk picks up and smashes into the
Yes!
ground.
It's an 11-year-old moment.
If any,
No, dude. Like. And
I will say, I sound like I'm about to drop it in D tier. I will say, in my heart, it lives here.
Here, I am not. I get it's comic accurate. The moment like in Endgame when the Avengers became 1 billion people, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I like, as much as Hawkeye is just lame, I like the original 5. I think it's cool.
Well, and it's just a
Six,
great
sorry.
job of showing
Again, I forget
all
Hawkeye
their
exists.
of how they all get
The most
drawn in.
The most redemptive quality to this movie, to me, happened 10 years after the movie came out. When everything started to tie in. When Homecoming, there was a direct correlation.
Right.
When Hawkeye, there was a direct correlation. Kate Bishop
It was the
affected.
flashpoint.
Yes, it's in Endgame. They go back to this because it's the most important. And then we get Thanos at the end. Those are like, I think it's a great movie. I think this is the best Mark Ruffalo's Hulk has ever been.
Yes.
Yes, I agree with that.
And probably ever will be again, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I don't love Cap. Cap in this movie just doesn't feel.
He's annoying in the beginning,
He doesn't feel good. Like
but I give him a little bit of doubt because he's out of ice.
one of the
Yeah.
best scenes in the movie though is take that suit off. What are you? Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
Yes.
It's like that whole scene where they're arguing and like talking about what it means to be the Avengers, and Avengers 1 sets up the reason I think so highly of Age of Ultron.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Because this whole movie, it's kind of this seed that Tony is planting in Cap's head of, you really trust S.H.I.E.L.D.? Really?
Yeah.
You really trust them? And then in Winter Soldier they end up being
That man is playing-
Nazis.
Yeah.
That man is playing Galaga.
Yeah, he's playing Galaga.
Again, those are the kind of jokes I miss him.
Yes.
Just quick
Yes.
little, and then you cut him just for half a second of him just playing it.
Yeah, I think it lives in A personally.
I
I know I was harping on it really hard, but I think really highly of the other ones.
Regardless of where it go, I really do think it's better than Guardians.
Yeah.
I agree. I think
I think it has to be at the very top of A, or
Yes.
it's the last movie in S.
To give you a frame of reference for how I think of this movie, it is on par with Endgame.
Really?
I think that this is the worst of the four, though.
I have an unpopular opinion. We'll get to.
Yeah.
So we all kind of in the realm of like it. At least we like it.
Yeah.
Event, okay. Age of Ultron, based on what you said and what you said, it sounds like there's going to be a discussion.
I flipped this town upside down.
I think you can get 3, honestly.
Yeah.
All right. So for the last 10 minutes, since all of our cameras are dead, we're down to 1 camera.
Hold on, did you get yourself, like everyone's in on this?
Yeah, we're good. It's a
Okay.
fisheye. So it's going to look silly, but this is a podcast, so quit watching.
Who cares?
And listen.
Yeah, just listen.
Age of Ultron. This is, I think that it's my second favorite Avengers movie.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
My only critiques is, one, I don't really care for the scene where they're like Andy Serkis's character. They're like, I get why they do it. I thought that was like, okay.
But then, see, the Avengers movies are the points where everything else branches off. Andy Serkis's character wouldn't be important in Black Panther if he's not in this movie.
Where I give this credit, the opening scene is great. It's like
Yeah.
one of the few times you see the Core 6 as a team executing a mission.
Yeah.
Yep. And the whole scene of them trying to lift Mjolnir, and then you get the little tease that Cap can do it, and then there's the whole debate of like, did he hold back because he knew he could do it, or was he not worthy yet?
Yeah.
And Thor's like, not even close.
Yeah. I wasn't even worried.
I think it's better than I remember, but I still don't think it's better than the
Watch
first
it
one.
back and specifically focus on the dynamic between Tony and Bruce compared to Cap. They are trying. Cap is so hellbent that America is like what he
It's patriotic.
remembers.
Yeah.
And they're like, dude,
It's not.
I'm literally the guy that made the bombs. This place isn't
Yeah,
good.
guy. Hey, buddy. Remember internment
This isn't
camps and the civil rights and
This just builds on that whole seed that was planted in Avengers 1. The whole seed that they planted in, like, do you really trust S.H.I.E.L.D.? And then this then evolves into Civil War because Tony was talking about having a suit of armor around the world, and then they mess up and Civil War happens, and then it goes into Infinity War and Endgame, and then it prompts the whole conversation between them we were talking about earlier, where it's the I needed you, liar.
Yeah,
Like watching this movie back makes my favorite MCU moments so much better, so it has to be one of my favorites. I would put it there.
Whoa.
I'll give you credit from where I would rank. I think it's better than any of the Guardians movies.
Yes.
Okay? So I think at minimal you're there. I just wouldn't give it past the first one.
Yeah.
So you think it's there, or do you think it's here?
I think it's behind the Avenger movie in A.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's, to me, feels more, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
However, you do have a GOAT slot, so
We're
It's
gonna
getting
we're,
used there.
we're gonna finish it. Infinity War.
I think if we're gonna throw, there should be one movie that we just
Double
Just
checking.
making sure
Gotcha.
that we throw in GOAT that we all agree on, and I think we can all agree that Infinity War is the best Marvel movie that was ever made and has ever been.
I won't give it best Marvel movie ever made, but it's definitely up there.
So he disagrees.
Then never mind.
This may even be. I even think nowadays, hot take. I don't even think it's close, but I don't think it's better than Civil War. I think Civil War is better. Again, you gotta understand.
It's better than Civil War.
I like my thing small. Like I like the team thing, and to me, just I love Infinity War, but I think that more
The
personal.
team is small. This whole movie.
The only issue.
Correct, but it's all broken
with-
up in branches.
The only issue with this movie, the only thing that's bad about this movie, is when. But I mean, also you understand why it happened to progress the plot of the movie. But it's when Star-Lord punched him in the face, when they had, which I mean, that's very nitpicky, which shows you how good this movie is. When that's my only gripe for the whole movie.
I will say, I think. Would you give it top of S?
Yeah, I would.
If I'm one step behind, I have no problem giving it top S. Then, if
It's
we're
top.
basically in the same realm.
Yeah,
If
That's
that's
top of us.
Yeah.
and here's where my hot take comes into play.
Oh,
This isn't a hot take. though.
no. I think the theater experience being when did this movie come out? Like
2019?
Yeah, like this was probably like my senior year of high school. I remember being butts in seats in the movie theater. You know, everything about that made this movie so amazing. And then I watched it again a couple years later, and I'm like, this movie's still really good.
It holds up.
It holds up, but it's not what I remember it being.
No,
It's not as good as I remember it being.
What do you not like?
top of B.
Ooh.
That's low.
Here's what gets me. Kind of how you said, I did like the theater experience. I think the final fight scene is well done.
Yes.
At the ending with Tony dying and Cap going back, living his life. Like, that part to me was fine with it. Where it kind of lost points with me is, when's the last time you rewatched this? Mine would have been like 2 years ago.
Wait, hang
Like
on.
a year ago.
The Star-Lord scene is in Endgame. It's not in Infinity War.
No, it is in Infinity War because it's they're about to take the gauntlet off of his hand before he snaps and
Yes,
kills everybody.
that is.
And then Star-Lord punches him in the face. He regains consciousness getting out of like Mantis'
And then he
spell.
snaps.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
and then he disappears, and then he snaps.
Gotcha.
You know what actually probably, for the one reason that probably takes down a whole tier for me? Hulk. When Hulk,
In Endgame?
when Hulk had a sweater
Yes,
and
Smart
dabs,
Hulk.
Smart Hulk is not cool.
I hate. It's my two big complaints.
It's an interesting premise that
They rushed.
it feels like
There's-
something that should be in like Marvel What If.
So
not
they
Infinity
filmed
movie.
they filmed an entire scene that they scrapped from this movie that would have changed the introduction. It would have made Smart Hulk way more tolerable.
I would have hated it regardless.
There's a fight scene where I don't remember exactly what happens. It may even be in Infinity War when they're fighting in Wakanda, and he loses the Hulkbuster armor, and he's about to get killed by something, and there's mocap like footage of Mark Ruffalo like doing this, and all of a sudden he blocks whatever is supposed to smash him, and he just goes, "We worked it out." So instead of him being puny Mark Ruffalo in the Hulkbuster suit, when he needed Hulk, he came out, and then it was like, holy shit, we are Hulk.
Yeah.
That would have made it way better, but instead they totally scrapped like 2 or 3 scenes like that.
Yeah. And then we just get.
And Black Widow tries to like, the sun's getting real low, the whole thing where she tries to like calm
Get
him
him
down. His response to that after Infinity War is, "Hello, Nat." And it was just like, whoa, hang on. This is Bruce.
Yeah.
So
Hon, I
they
think
did rush it though.
Yes.
my two big complaint, it is, it's so slow. Like
Yeah, I can.
It
I
hurts.
remember
It hurts.
when I even
You guys are hurting my feelings.
That's America's ass. I'm like, that was just a horse they beat to death.
I could do this all day. Yeah, I know.
I thought I did kind of like the America's Ass line. I thought that was kind of funny.
I think it's a great movie. For one, Hulk is forever ruined for me.
I don't think it's forever. I think he's.
I think I would have hated Smarkle regardless. I just think it's a
I
weird
think
plot.
everything they do with Captain America in this movie and the ending and everything like that, I think at the very least, it has to be better than Hulk.
I would put it above this. I would put it above Deadpool.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know if
it-
I'd put it above Deadpool, but I am willing
I
to
would not put it above Deadpool.
That's where I would put it.
I'm
If
willing
it-
to put it
Gotcha.
above X2, Black Panther, Captain America, and Hulk. I'm willing to put it above those.
I will agree with that, yeah.
That hurts, guys.
I think it's a really good movie, but I think it's just not as good as.
Wow.
Hold on, let's do a quick go through it in review. So in S, we got Infinity War, Civil War, Iron Man, Logan, Spider-Man 1 and 2, Days of Future Past, Deadpool, Wolverine, and then Daredevil, Punisher, and then the X-Men 97 and other show. Okay, A tier, Avengers, Age of Ultron, Guardians 2, Amazing Spider-Man, pretty much all the Captain America movies, Deadpool, Endgame, X2, Black Panther, Hulk, Loki, Moon Knight, and WandaVision. B, you got First Class, Ragnarok, No Way Home, Doctor Strange, Shang-Chi, Guardians 3, Spider-Man 1, Ant-Man 1, Fantastic Four, Thor, Wakanda Forever, Venom, Black Widow, Deadpool 2, Amazing Spider-Man 2, Falcon, Winter Soldier, and the Groot shorts. C tier, First X-Men, No Way Home, or Far From Home, Love and Thunder, Multiverse of Madness, X-Men The Last Stand, Apocalypse, Jessica Jones, Echo, and Hawkeye. In the D tier, we got X-Men Origins, Wolverine, Iron Man 2, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Iron Man 3, Venom, the second one.
Let There Be Carnage.
Yep. Quantumanium, Thor, Dark World, Spider-Man 3, Agatha, Miss Marvel. In the F tier, Captain Marvel, Wolverine Immortal, the second Fantastic Four movie, The New Mutants, Dark Phoenix, the 2015 reboot of Fantastic Four, and then She-Hulk Secret Invasion. And then we all have a worst of all time. Mine was Madam Web, yours was Morbius, and Jordan's was the third Venom movie, what even was the subtitle?
The Last Dance.
Last Dance. And then we'd never seen Eternals.
Is this a Michael Jordan documentary?
Eternals, Legends, Luke Cage, Kraven, Iron Fist, Werewolf at Night, The Marvels, all the What If stuff, Defenders, and the holiday special of Guardians of the Galaxy.
So, do we get a...
and this is the definitive list, but we have a little bit of a device where everyone gets their GOAT, their definitive what is their best.
Doesn't matter if I loved Iron Man 2. If it's in D tier, I can put it in
Correct.
GOAT tier.
Correct.
I'll get mine out of the way quick. Spider-Man 2.
This one?
Yes. It is, like I've talked about it, favorite movie. Doc Ock is just so cool. I truly, out of all these movies, it's the only one I can rewatch any day of the week and have no problem with it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to play mine a little bit more strategic. I'll let you go first, and hopefully...
He's playing chess out here.
I am going to be going with...
See, I think you guys are thinking too high. Like, for me personally, like, Daredevil is in its S tier. I'm happy with
Right.
that. I don't need the one tier up. I would have been looking here.
I think...
Even then, I think for me as GOAT, this is definitive my favorite, and just because
Yeah,
mine
gotcha.
happens to be universally liked.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense.
To what represents me, a Marvel movie, it would be Spider-Man 2.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Logan.
There you go.
It's, I mean, it's just... I know I've said this probably like 5,000 times already, but it's just such an emotionally perfect movie.
Mm-hmm.
I love that it makes Wolverine look human.
Yeah.
I was thinking that...
I'm checking camera, but...
It's good. I've checked it twice.
All right, Santa.
Check it twice, that's good.
My tendency, before you made your point about it being your favorite regardless of Universal, was Endgame because it's too low.
You were just trying to save it from there. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But what is that's like the whole question. Out of all these, what is Jordan's pick?
The one that's been on my mind the most, I'm happy where these two ended up. I think these are the best Marvel movies
Okay.
ever. I think my underrated, probably favorite,
Chasm 2.
no, It's criminally low in B tier, but I mean, there's a couple movies that I definitely would say I had a better experience watching.
Yeah.
Sure.
So there's nothing I'm like upset about. It's more of a question of like, are the ones I'm passionate about too low? And I think that's why
Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron hits my goat.
I think that's fair. Couple movies I need to rewatch. I need to rewatch Age of Ultron. I need to see the new Captain America. And
I need to watch all of the X-Men movies.
yes, I'll probably just rewatch all the Deadpool movies.
We'll make homework
shits
for
and
each other.
giggles.
Yeah.
Mostly the giggles.
I will say, by the time this is coming out, the new Deadpool series should be airing.
Oh, I forgot that existed.
Starts the premieres March 4th. So
Wait.
depending on when this comes out.
Do I live under a rock?
Did you not know that was a thing?
No. What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Who do they have?
everybody's back.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody.
Is this animated or live action?
Live action.
Ryan
Everybody's
Reynolds?
Yep.
back. Huh?
Huh? With Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool?
Did I say Deadpool? I said Daredevil.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I thought we were talking about.
No, the new season of Daredevil.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
New
I was about
Blood-
to say, I don't feel like a fraud anymore.
What's the subtitle?
Born Again.
Born Again. New Blood. What the
Everybody's back. John Bernthal's back as
Yes.
Punisher.
Dude,
which is gonna be awesome.
Foggy and Karen are back.
let's go.
And this,
Kingpin's back.
And we are so back.
And,
Yeah.
and honestly, I hate to say it because I sound like a glazer, the MCU is back.
ooh,
I mean,
It's
it's getting there.
It's on the way
They need to make some more good movies.
on the way up.
They need
yeah,
to make some more good movies, and maybe I need to see how the next Avengers movie goes
I'm nervous about them.
because
They're about to rush them horribly. bad.
and just bringing back Robert Downey Jr.
I'm excited for that.
I like it, but it's like when you kill a character and an actor off already.
I think that King would have been a better option because they're committing to the same time schedule.
Yeah.
Like, think about just the way I was having a conversation with somebody a couple weeks ago, but think about how long it took to introduce Thanos for Thanos to have an impact.
Yeah.
right.
Like Avengers 1 came out in 2012, Infinity War came out in
6 years later.
2017.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
it took a while. And with Doom, the original plan was Kang,
Yeah.
and they started doing Kang with when did they introduce him? Loki season 2.
That
I didn't
sounds
see
about
it.
right.
Loki season 2 and Quantumania, and that happened probably 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
And between Doomsday and now, there are, I think, 2 Marvel movies slated. So they have 2 movies to introduce Robert Downey Jr. as Doom.
Huh.
And they haven't done it. I think they should have done it at the end. And watch the new Captain America and let me know what you think. But I think the post-credit scene would have served better, even if Doom was in it for like
Yeah.
a shot, like one frame.
I definitely don't think they went the wrong way with Doom being the villain because he's one of the best villains. in
I don't
Marvel.
either.
He's one of my favorite Marvel.
I don't
villains.
either. But for it to matter at all, they're.
And for it to be the guy that played Iron Man.
I think it'll make for some interesting dynamic with Spider-Man. Like I think it'll draw the emotion. And honestly,
Yeah.
one thing I hope happens. I wish Cillian Murphy would have been Dr. Doom.
Yes,
Just because he
dude.
looks awesome.
Yes.
I hope I'm predicting now live. A couple other people have predicted this, but imagine Doomsday, the first 15 minutes are Robert Downey Jr. And have you seen the comic panel where Doom and Thanos are talking and he just rips out
Yep.
Thanos' skeleton,
Yep.
like the whole thing?
Yeah.
Imagine that happens with a new actor and Robert Downey Jr. To establish how seriously evil this next Doom is, he just rips out Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom's spine. So it's just a total rug pull. These years leading up were
Listen.
like, imagine Robert Downey Jr. and then boom, it's someone way
If
worse.
they do some shit like that, it's probably gonna be an S tier. But
That's what I'm saying.
If it's not,
You know what we
we
can
see
do?
our first Avengers movie in like Beer City.
You can save these.
Really?
So
Yeah.
I think what we can do is save, and you saw like right there, you can bring in your own files. So
Okay.
I think what we can do, keep that, and then a new movie, TV show comes out for a quick, before we start like we do in Are You the Asshole, hey, Jordan saw XYZ. Pull up the list. This is our list. Where
I like that. It's an ongoing thing.
I just keep it going.
We'll have to pull up the Star Wars list again when I finish Andor,
Oh,
so I can throw it straight in S.
that's what I'm saying. And for people out there watching, let us know what are your favorite, least favorite Marvel movies. And at the same time, everything is opinionated. If for somehow you're a diehard fan of Spider-Man 3 and you're mad at us, well, guess what? Just tell us why you think it's great.
Drop your goats and your wotes in
Right.
chat.
Whoa.
Goat and woat.
Your goat and wote.
But as for us, tune in next week. What do you want to do next week?
I don't know. We'll do something.
We'll figure it out.
We should bring Reddit stories back.
It's been a few
Yeah,
weeks.
Let's talk about some horrible people.
I think we should.
I like that idea. Maybe I'll bring a bug story.
Oh! Bring back a classic.
All right. Well, thank you for tuning in about something I was super passionate about. If you stayed for the whole 2 hours and 20 minutes,
You're a real
If
one.
it's not 2 parts already.
I bet it's 2 or 3 parts.
Yeah, I'd say probably at least 3.
It depends. If everything can be perfectly synced,
Yeah.
I'll do it one episode. But if it's kind of you have to move stuff, I may just do it in parts because it'll
Gotcha.
be easier to adjust those pieces.
I mean, if we have to go all the way out to 4, we can still do like 4 30-minute episodes, which is still that's still really good.
Well, shout out editor Josh, honestly.
Right? Shout out Editor Josh.
The
Thank you guys.
last thing I'll say on this is we find after all the technical difficulties we'd had with this goddamn thing, we did it.
Right, we finally got through the whole.
We got through it.
list.
I now know that my cameras can't sustain battery life.
You
so-
know their limits now.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in.